All right, I am thrilled to welcome Mana to the Sasaga podcast. So, Mana, please tell us who you are and what you do, because it's quite unusual.
Hi, my name is Mana Ogawa. I'm a founder of Mana & Co., which is a well-being wellness brand that I started last year in Japan.
Mm-hmm. And so that's in Japan. What were you doing before you were back in Japan?
Before I started my own company.
Yeah.
Okay. So right before that, I used to live in Singapore.
Mm-hmm.
And I was there almost like 4 years. So my background is quite corporate. So during that time, I worked for American company, which is doing expert research. So what I've been doing was I work as a project manager. So I worked as a project manager to help my clients, mostly like management consulting firms and also investment firms, to help them to find the right expert. They would like to, who they know about the market, they would like to know. So yeah. And before Singapore, I also worked in Japan almost like 8 years. But during that time, I was in a recruitment industry. So I worked for one of the biggest human resource company called Intelligence for 4 years as a sales. Then after that, I worked for executive search firm as a consultant for almost 4 years too.
Right. So you had a pretty long corporate career and were working with
12 years, yeah.
Right. And working with some pretty high performing people, it sounds like. I imagine.
Yeah.
What was the work environment like for you? What was your typical day like?
When I was in Japan, my day was quite busy. So as you know, like when I right after I graduate university, I joined like a Japanese company. So that company is quite like how do I say, like it's in Japanese like a venture kigyo. So the lifestyle was quite busy and I always work until late or 9 or 10 or something like that. But after I moved to executive search firm, my life was a little bit changed and I could balance my work and also personal life. Then after that, I moved to Singapore. Of course, like the environment is completely different. So I could enjoy more personal life as well. But during the daytime, as you mentioned, like the people I've been handling with was like quite like functional people. So during the day, I've been quite busy. And even after the work, I couldn't stop thinking about my work or something. So yeah. These are the days that I spend in a corporate life.
Right. Now you bring up a really interesting topic about this can't stop thinking about work. And this is something that is, you know, the more and more I talk with my clients and especially the women in my online programs, this thinking about work, thinking is a big problem.
Yeah.
And so, and you have a solution to that now. So maybe you can tell us straight away about the Gong meditation.
Sure. So under my company, one of the things that I'm passionately doing is Gong meditation. So I'm hosting Gong meditation session in Tokyo and also in Kamakura. I'm based in Kamakura, by the way. So yeah, I hosting those sessions for people and also corporate clients. So what should I explain about the Gong meditation a little bit more?
Please do, and especially that link to what you were saying about the thinking going on so much with busy work people.
Sure. Okay. So so the Gong meditation is one of the way of meditation and using the sounds of gong. So basically, in Japanese, say gong is dora. So we meditate with the sound of the gong. So there are many type of meditation program going on, and also there are many instrument used for meditation. But I was really into Gong. First time I met Gong in Bali. Bali Island. Yeah, it was my first experience. Then after that, I came back to my normal life in Singapore. One of the yoga studio I always go has Gong. So I naturally like drawn to it, and then almost like become addiction.
Right.
So at least like I've been there almost like once in a 2 week or something. It's quite, I was quite busy, so I couldn't make it like once a week, but at least like once in a 2 week or something. Yeah. So actually during the Gong meditation, we don't need to do anything, just lying down and surrender. That's the way it is. And during the session, actually, Helen-san just experienced Gong meditation this week. But what Gong, the sounds does is sounds goes to our brain. So the sounds naturally help us and help our brain to stop thinking. So even for business people, like busy business people and business leaders or entrepreneurs, those kind of people really need to meditate to make their work more efficiently. But the problem is it's sometimes difficult for them to meditate, because once they start to become like a Zen mode, but their brain is still keep thinking.
Yes.
But for Gong meditation, the sounds really help us to just relax. And even once we hear the sounds, our brain naturally goes to relaxed state, like alpha state, theta state, something like that. So it's really helpful for busy people to just get out from their work and get out from their daily life to just come back to yourself.
Yeah, this is great. And I'd love to talk a little bit more about this whole concept of Gong meditation. At the same time, I know that there are going to be Sasaga podcast listeners and those watching the video of this who might be, well, I'm not in Tokyo, or, I can't get to a Gong meditation. How can I do it? So we will talk a little bit later about other things that you can do as well in terms of self-care. So stay with us if you're listening or watching and you're like, but I can't do this. Because there are definitely lessons that you're going to learn here, but that whole thing, like when you said about people are busy and they're thinking all of the time. So that's right. And you said that meditation helps with performance. That's what I wanted to come back to. So how does meditation help people with their performance?
It's really good question, and a little bit difficult to explain. But nowadays, like we every day we receive a lot of information, so it's really, really difficult to focus or concentrate. So always
sorry interrupting you, but I remember this from Tuesday evening when I went to your class, and you said about how much information we have in one day.
Yeah.
Do you want to share that?
Yeah. So what we receive nowadays just in one day is same. Sorry, how can I explain? Like the amount of information that we received in one day in nowadays is same amount of the information that normal Japanese people received in a year in Edo era.
When you said that on Tuesday night, I was like, wow. Yeah. That no wonder everybody's exhausted and stressed.
Our brain is not that improved. Yeah, compared to that kind of situation. So it's no wonder it's natural that we cannot stop thinking, or we cannot we cannot concentrate or we cannot focus. It's really natural for us because the environment is really invading us to be in that kind of situation. So so the question was concentration. So to handle this kind of situation, you need to be more focused, and you need to you need more concentration during the work time, right? So every day, or if possible every evening or in the middle of the day, if you could meditate just for 10 minutes or 15 minutes, then just you don't feel like upset, like you just can't really come back to yourself. Then how do I say, like 冷静に just reflecting yourself and what to do, what you need to finish during this day, or you can just prioritize the task and all that, so you can refresh your brain to be more efficient.
I love that. And I've been meditating for quite some time. Now I do I guess that we have Sasaga podcast listeners and viewers on watching the video version of this who may not be familiar. I mean, they've probably heard of meditation. It's very popular right now.
Right.
They may not have really done meditation themselves, or they maybe tried it and found that it didn't work for them because they were thinking all the time. What are your recommendations for someone who's an absolute beginner at this? How can they get started with even without the gong? How can they get started with the meditation that you're talking about?
I think one of the easiest way is by using app. So there are some popular app around the world these days. And they have so many programs, and many programs are quite like free program. So and there's many kind of meditation. So like there are some type of like sound meditation, not like we don't have that instrument your home, but you can listen it from your iPhone or whatever your internet system. So personally I prefer sound meditation because whenever I listen the meditation guidance in language, I feel like I start to think by leading by the words. So the sounds is quite natural, just the sound. So it's for me, it's easy to meditate. And actually that was the beginning of my meditation journey, because I have the same situation. I was in the same situation like you mentioned. Like in the beginning, I was not that into meditation. Like I know that meditation is good, but I didn't know like how to do it. And in the beginning, it was really difficult to put my mind empty or something like that. But I realized that it's not about putting our mind empty. It's putting our mind empty is quite impossible. Almost like impossible. Just becoming aware what we are thinking or what we are feeling, that is meditation. So that's my understanding though. So so I think for beginners, I recommend sound meditation would be a good choice.
And I tried, and I say tried specifically because it wasn't working. I tried meditation many times in many different ways over the years, and then I eventually did come across, as you mentioned, an app, and it's called Headspace, and I'll put a link. I'll put a link.
Popular.
It's very popular, and I love it. It's I find that the guy who leads that, his voice is very calming for me, and I found that really great because I think there's like a free trial, a 10-day trial or something like that. And so I did that, and it's only you do 10 minutes when you first start, so 10 days 10 minutes, and just do that. And that actually got me started, and I used the Headspace app for I think a couple of years. And then I got to the stage where I could do it myself. So that's become, a regular thing for me to do. So then moving into this new area of sound meditation for me was absolutely amazing. So, I went to your class on Tuesday, and I was intrigued when I first heard about it. And then, you gave this beautiful explanation about all of the background, and it was a lovely, the whole environment was just totally relaxing. And then what we did is we all, you gave us the choice to be in whatever comfortable position we wanted to be in. I think pretty much everybody decided to lay down. And I was like, yay, okay, so lay down. Head close to the gong.
Yes.
And then you just started, playing. Did you call it playing the gong?
Yeah, play gong. Yeah.
You started playing the gong, and it was just amazing. And I was like, instant relaxation. It was just absolutely gorgeous. And it was about 30 minutes, right, that we were doing.
Yeah, 30 minutes, yes.
And going through different kind of rhythms and different levels of, loud and soft. Oh, it was just the most amazing experience. I absolutely loved it. So I'm definitely going to be back again. And I felt really relaxed since then as well. It really had a deep impact, I would say. So yeah, I absolutely loved that.
Thank you.
So tell us a little bit more about, because we've talked a little bit, and that I'm hugely passionate about getting across this message of self-care to people. Because there's so much of a, work, push yourself sort of culture, especially here in Japan. I'd love to hear a little bit your thoughts, or, any kind of stories you have around that, Mana.
Right. Okay. Good. Great question. So, first of all, I think Japanese people are really under pressure. Like I should say, like people in Japan, I should say. Yeah,
because it's it's not, I think in other parts of the world too, it's really, really strong here though. And as you say, it's not just Japanese people, because it starts to impact you when you come to Japan. Like I never experienced katakori until I came to Japan, and then it's like,
really?
I had no idea what katakori was. And it's like, okay, now I'm in Japan, I have katakori.
That's hilarious. Oh my gosh. Yeah, so society-wise, and Japanese people tend to be very kind, but sometimes I feel like the kindness is too much. I should say, like too much hospitality, or that one of the things that I really I want to improve in Japan is people tend to think about others too much instead of thinking or taking care of themselves. So that's one of the big issue happening in Japan, I personally feel, related to self-care, because people feel guilty when taking care of themselves, but it's necessary for us to take care of ourselves. Otherwise, it's really difficult for them to be kind to others, or to be more like powerful to the society, or doing things powerfully or something like that. So I think one of the issue that we need to discuss, and we need to improve, is taking care of ourselves is not bad thing. Actually, it's necessity.
That's it. People, as you said, people feel guilty about looking after themselves, and the thing is, you have to look after yourself to really be your best in your work and for other people. And it took me a long time to realize this, by the way.
But actually, I didn't realize this kind of situation when I was in Japan. I realized this kind of situation after I moved to Singapore. Because after I moved to Singapore, at that time, I didn't have much friend in Singapore. So I have a lot of spare time to do my own things. Then I just realized that why my life in Japan was too busy, like so busy. then I just realized that I was born in Japan and I grew up in Japan. So I have many friends, many relationship in Japan, like many relationship in business and all that. So always something coming up. And I try to make my own time in the days. But even then, like always something popping up, and that makes me busy. So I really realized that okay, yeah, I need to make my time for myself. Yeah, and especially for women who have kids, they're quite busy, right? Like handling like raising their kids, taking care of their kids, but also they have work, and also they have something to do for themselves and husband or something like that. So they are quite busy. So the people like women in Japan is really, really in a challenging situation. But I felt that in Singapore, the women in Singapore is more like how do I say, like more relaxed and more like self-independent. So they, of course, it's not that easy to hire nanny and all those kind of things in Japan, but it's really standard to hire those kind of people to make their own time. And also, like, I was impressed that one of my best friend, she's around 40 years old and she has 2 kids, but she always make her own time for herself. Like going to spa or going to yoga. But I don't see much that Japanese moms are doing those kind of things, right? Like I think they're feeling guilty to do so. And also it's society wise, it's a little bit like a society, like a pressure, sekente. So yeah, it's not that I totally understand that it's not that easy for them to adjust that kind of situation, but I really want them to make their own time so that they can enjoy their life more, and also they can be energized.
Yeah, exactly, because it's not only the benefit to them, but it's the impact that they have on those around them, and they can have more energy for their children. They can enjoy their time with their children even more, and they can also be making a even better contribution in their work. So yeah, it's so important. I really want to get this message out. Yeah, so that's why I was thrilled to learn about you and what you do, and to be able to invite you onto the Sasaga podcast. So what else would you like to share with our listeners and viewers today, Mana?
Yeah, so I think I can share a little bit about the people who come to my Gong meditation. So yeah, one of the reasons that I doing corporate session is I think the busy people really need it.
Yeah.
So as I mentioned earlier, busy people are really difficult to, how do I say, difficult to empty their mind or just calm their mind out. So yeah, I think Gong meditation is really helpful, like not only with the Gong, but other instrument also, but sound meditation is really helpful for busy people. So I felt like meditation is not for selected people, but like, it sounds like なんかメディテーションはちょっと意識の高い人がやっているっていうイメージがある in Japan ある気がするんですけど、but yeah, but I don't think meditation is it's really for everybody. Yeah, but especially for busy people, it's really necessary for them to do that.
Yeah. Oh, well, I would definitely say so, because meditation's made a huge difference for me, from going from, because it's exhausting when you've got like thinking going all the time. So taking that time to just, clear.
Yes, we need it. Oh, we all need it.
I really do. And that's when, inspiration comes in as well. We were talking a little bit before we started the recording. You said that you have someone, a creative person, was it? You said?
Yeah. So one of my client, he's a entrepreneur, and he's quite famous, a creative director in Japan. Mm-hmm. He always have a personal session, like a one-to-one session, almost like once a month, or when he's busy, if he can make it, then once in 2 months or something. But mm-hmm. he keep coming back to make how do I say, like just make himself time to reflect and rejuvenate. So Gong meditation is also helpful for creative people.
Yeah,
that helps to calm down our left side of the brain, then activate our right side of the brain
for the creativity. And the thing is, that's what I would say is that's not just for creative people, because actually really everybody needs to be creative.
Yes,
especially right now, as we're recording this in 2020 in the middle of pandemic. Who knows when people are listening or watching, maybe all past, but right now creativity is a good thing. So that you were talking about reinventing earlier on.
I think nowadays, like we were acting like a machine. We've been acting like a machine, but this year is kind of like the really big trigger for us to think about our life, and also become, as you mentioned, become more creative. To live in the best of our lives.
Love it. Okay, this is a great note to wrap up on. So what else would you like to share? Anything about your classes, or what else would you like to?
Thank you so much. So I host this Gong meditation class not only in Kamakura but also in Omotesando. So I have a class once in 2 weeks in Omotesando. So if you are interested, just Google it, or
we'll put the links in the show notes.
That would be perfect.
The show notes. It'll be sasagacommunications.com, and then it'll be the episode hyphen and then the episode number.
That would be great
for that.
So hope to see your audience in the class too.
And me too. I will be back. I will be back.
Would love to have you again.
It was the Tuesday night Gong meditation was fantastic. It was wonderful, and this conversation has been wonderful. I'm so grateful that you've taken the time to come and talk with us and share your inspiration with the Sasaga podcast listeners. So thank you so much, Mana.
Thank you so much, Helen-san, for inviting me.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.